Jay's Custom Creations is sponsored by Bits and Bits. Use the code JBates to save 10% off your next router bit or CNC bit purchase at bitsbits.com. Talk about two failures really quick. First off, I just ate way too much for lunch and now I've got to work. That's failure number one. Failure number two is this. Have you ever heard the saying that failure is not an option? Well, that's kind of wrong. Failure is always an option. And failure is also the opportunity to begin again more intelligently. Isn't that what Henry Ford said? Something like that. This is my pile of I'll do it later, and later is today. I've got a bunch of stuff that I got to just button up, but these two panels in particular, this one is a big maple countertop slab, and there's one behind it for a farm table. I talked about this previously. Basically, these were big butcher block panels that I created for a project that they just didn't work out. So I've got $1,000 invested in FAS maple, beautiful maple, and today, I've been not wanting to do this. I'm going to cut it up into cutting boards. My planer is only 15 inches wide, so I did this in three different panels. So that means I have two seams, unfortunately, with dominoes. So I am going to get some waste, not 100% salvageable, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to cut these right on the domino seams. It's much easier to move me over the material than to pick this heavy material up and move it over the machines. So I'm going to rough cross cut everything. Actually, I think the perimeter sections, the two end slabs, those can be final cross cuts because I'm going to be referencing a square off of the outside faces, which are nice and straight. But with this center section, both of these cuts are freehand cuts along its entire length. So I have no square edge to reference off of, so I'll consider those rough cross cuts. Now this is the one that it honestly stings a little bit. This one is a completed tabletop. I took the time to inlay over some defects and already applied finished, set it up on top of the table, and it just didn't work out. So it kind of hurts, but I'm going to cut it up too. Went ahead and time-lapsed through the rest of the milling because it's just making rectangles smaller, basically, many rectangles. And also, I'm just not mentally into this project. It's a salvage project. I'm just trying to get my money back or maybe even double it up as far as the materials go, and I'm taking a huge loss on labor. So, yeah, it is what it is. This is what it is, though. This is the stack of cutting boards that I'm left with. 36 cutting boards of various sizes, and plus another huge box of maple offcuts from getting all this cut down that have no glue, no dominoes, just straight up maple. This whole box is filled to the top. It's kind of heavy. And that's going to go into my smoker to make meat taste good. So not an entire waste of all of the offcuts. 36 cutting boards, various different sizes. I tried to shoot for the 12 by 16. I think 12 by 16 is a pretty good size for a cutting board, inches. And some of these are a little bit bigger. Some of them are a little bit smaller, but about that same amount of board feet, right? So I've got two of these that are gigantic cutting boards here. And I thought about cutting these into, because I know there's no dominoes in the middle, thought about cutting these into smaller cutting boards. But then again, I thought, well, you know what? Sometimes a cutting board just says what it should be used for. And this one says, put a brisket on me. So I'm probably actually going to keep one of these for myself, these bigger ones. Probably carve something on the backside, something that's fun. I don't know. But anyway, 36 cutting boards, a total of 66.7 board feet of processed cutting boards. So that doesn't include all the waste that we got rid of. And I looked up my purchase price for all the material, which was $1,050, which means for what you see here, my cost is $15.70 a board feet in these completed cutting board blanks, which is not that good, but it's not the end of the world either. So for example, this one right here is 1.85 board feet, so about $29 for this cutting board of material invested. That's my cost, and I'm pretty sure no matter what I could sell this for more than 30 bucks and break even if I wanted to, but I'm not going to break even. I think what I'm going to do is carve a juice groove on the top side of all these and then just CNC something on the bottom so I can basically just double up my money. Whatever this is invested, I'll double up my money, take a hit on my labor cost, which is kind of okay in my position. So there's that. I've got to sell these for about $30 a board feet, which leads me to two questions. Number one, if you make things to sell, because I typically don't, what is your cost for completed cutting boards? Do you have a cost per board feet of completed cutting board, or you just sell them based upon a value you picked out? And then the second thing is, what's your lemons to lemonade story? I've got to hear some other good ones because this really does kind of suck for me. So what's your lemons to lemonade story? What is your project that was just an absolute failure, and how did you recover? I'd love to hear it. I'm going to put these to the side because I have a road trip in 6 days that's going to be 2 weeks long, and I got another project that just popped up that takes priority. So these, once again, go off to the side, and I'll pull from them as I need. I just mainly really wanted to get these down to their completed sizes and then figure out what my cost per board feet was invested, so I know for sure to double up my money. I'll probably keep an update going with these on my second channel, my vlog videos. If you want to stay up to date with everything that I publish, go to my website, jayscustomcreations.com/newsletter, so you don't miss anything that I publish. You guys take care, have a great day, and I'll talk to you in the next video.